Hi there, how are you? Good to see you.
All manager there, yeah? Yeah.
Thank you.
Fine. Okay, guys, who wants to kick us off? Simon at the front then?
Hi, Simon.
Hi, David. Sorry. Simon Stone, BBC. I've read the interview that you've done with Ken Dyer in the Standard. This is a big game, individually and collectively, for West Ham. How important is it, and is this one step on a journey for you, not the end of one?
Well, it's great to be sitting here in the first place, let me tell you. To be in a European final, for any manager, I think is a thrill. And whether you're an experienced one or whether you're a very young one, I think it's one of the pinnacles you can get in football is as a coach. When you start out, can you reach a final? So the answer to it is hopefully it's the start. I've always said I think the best years are to come. And, I'm certainly enjoying this one at the moment and enjoying the moment being here with everybody.
In blue, please.
David, good evening. Sauness face from talkSPORT. Congratulations
Hi, Sam.
on reaching
Thank you.
the final. Fiorentina have just finished their season. You've had 10 days between your last game and the final. How have you struck the balance between rest and work to ensure that you come in top condition tomorrow?
Well, a little bit of both. We've done a little bit of time away together. We went to Portugal for 2 or 3 days. Trained, enjoyed it, had a bit of relaxation. I think after the amount of games, I think we've played 56 games, I think, this season in the Premier League and in Europe. And actually last year, I think we were 63 or 64. So to get a couple of days with the players was great. And then really just to build up and get the players ready for the game. Hopefully the gap of 10 days won't be too big an issue when you've played that amount of games in one season.
Hi.
Hi.
Antonio Giordano, Fantacalcio.it. What is the quality of Fiorentina that scared you the most?
Well, I wouldn't tell you.
Okay.
But what I will say is I've been hugely impressed by Fiorentina. Their form, certainly since maybe after the World Cup's been very good. They've already got to one cup final. So it tells you that they've got something. The manager's done a really, really good job with Fiorentina in a short time. So a difficult opponent, an Italian opponent, is always difficult. And we respect that.
Good evening, Coach. Jan Krezrabek, Czech News Agency. I would like to ask you about Tomáš Souček and Vladimír Coufal. Do you realize what it means to them? And is it something they've been talking about a lot throughout the season to getting here in Prague, and it's their dream coming true? So
yeah,
thank you.
Very much so. I think because both players have come from this club and they have a big affiliation to the city. The minute we heard the game was in Prague, we were always having fun with them, making some jokes. But I always felt that, if this was a chance, we had a real chance in Europe this year to get to the final. And it's proved to be the case. And I'm really pleased because both Thomas and Vladimir have been great for the team over the last 2 or 3 years. Been great servants, performed well, and been really, really important team players.
On your right.
Over here. Hi
there.
Nicola Mizul, Fiorentina.it. A few years back, during your previous experience, some fans tried to sort of write you off after your good time at Everton. Do you think that winning this title would be sort of like a payback for the people that didn't believe in you a few years back?
I don't look at it that way. I've had a really good career. I've been coaching since I was 34, 35. I've had over 1,000 games in football and maybe 600 in the Premier League. I've been fortunate enough to be in some finals, fortunate enough to be in some promotions. But this is the biggest moment. But I think it is for any coach, whether you be a new coach, an old coach. And to be a football coach for as long as I've been means that you have something, you're doing something right. You don't get jobs if you're doing something wrong. So longevity is really difficult. There's lots of very, very good young coaches out there who are starting. But for those young coaches, then they're the ones who have to see if they can do 20 years in the business, 25 years in the business, because that's what it takes.
David Hollister, Bruce Ball
Hi
from
there.
BBC Sport. Hi. As the manager of this group of players, they look to you for motivation and inspiration. Do you have anything particular planned to say to them just before they go out tomorrow? I know you probably won't tell us exactly what that is, but I also wondered, in terms of motivating and inspiring you, is there anyone you turn to ahead of occasions like this?
Well, I think for me to do something completely different and not be myself would look slightly odd. But this is slightly different, and this is something more special than we've envisaged for a long time or had. No, I've not really got anything lined up for the players, but I'm hoping on the night I'm able to give them the motivation, inspiration, determination, commitment, attitude, all the things which players need to be successful. But ultimately, then you need to find yourself a way to get a win. This job in football is to find a way of winning, and that'll be the key message really in the end.
Hello, David.
Hi there.
Emilio Lezama from Mexico, El Universal.
Sorry.
Right in front of you. For a match like this, in the preparation, do you prepare yourself creating different scenarios, many scenarios, and thinking of what you would do in each scenario? Or is it more of a thing where you stick to what you know how to do, and then whatever is happening during the game, you react to it? How do you confront strategically? How do you prepare for a game like this?
Well, I think all the things you said you do. I think you're continuously thinking about how we're going to play, how we're going to cause the opposition problems, what problems will they cause us. So all those things get intermingled into how you prepare. But I think also having plan B, plan C if required, whatever else is needed, I think is always useful. But I think more importantly that you're trying to prepare, get yourself in the right place, do all the correct things which you've got you to in this position in the first place. And we've now gone through Europe unbeaten in all the games. Last season we got to a semi-final and lost only in the semi-final last season. So our record in European football in the last 2 years has been so good, and we hope that we can continue it tomorrow.
David, Gary from Sky back here.
Hi, Gary.
Hi.
Yeah.
It's great to hear from you and Jared and Thomas. I guess under normal circumstances, ahead of a big European final, we'd hear from the club captain. Understandably, we're not hearing from him today, but with him off to pastures new in the summer, is it an extra incentive for him to play his heart out and lift that trophy?
Well, you said that, not me. You should probably answer your own question, Gary. I don't want to answer that one. Our focus is on winning a game tomorrow night and nothing else.
Hi, David. Jacob Steinberg.
Hi, Jacob.
From The Guardian. Have you made a decision on the goalkeeper yet? Because obviously Alphonse Areola has played every game so far, and if he does start, have you made a decision on whether you might bring on Lucas Fabianski if it goes to penalties?
Well, we've got those thoughts. One of the questions there was about your planning, your strategic organisation in your head. I've got all those things in my head, and yeah, I've got my thoughts on what I'm going to do, but I won't reveal them if you don't mind.
David, Mike Walters, Daily Mirror. West Ham finished top of the Fair Play League in the Premier League this season, which is a great tribute to your team's discipline. But to win a final, do you accept you might have to resort to one or two unfamiliar tactics, shall we say, to make sure you get the job done?
No, I would hope not. I think there's two different cultures playing the game, no, the Italian culture and the British culture, and we hope that we can get the right balance between that. And no, I've every faith in the team that they'll go about their jobs in the right way, professionally, and hopefully we can learn. We learned a few lessons from last year when we were in Frankfurt in the semi-final. So I'm hoping that we take it into the game. But obviously, we want to be really committed, and we're going to fight for everything we possibly can.
Hi, David. Malik here from The Standard.
Hi there, Malik.
you've spoken a few times about being very aware of the place you could take in that kind of great lineage of Scottish managers who've managed to win European trophies, people like Sir Alex. Have you spoken to any of them this week? Any messages of support or anything like that?
No, I've not spoken to them, but some of the names are names which I've been brought up as a boy and watching football of the greats of Scottish football. And for all the Italian journalists, Scotland had a great history of Scotland had a great history of coaches and managers in the English leagues, and maybe not quite so much nowadays. Lots of Italians coming into the Premier League and other nationalities, but so it'd be great if I could get anywhere close to it. Some of the names are fantastic, and I'm hoping that we can do enough to get to win a trophy.
Hi, David. Kieran from Daily Mail.
Hi, Kieran.
Hi. Yeah. Can you put into words what you think this means for Declan in his first season as captain? Has he exceeded your expectations this season?
Well, I don't think I would limit it to Declan, Kieran. I think I would limit it to the whole group. And for West Ham Football Club, I think if you said, what does it mean to West Ham Football Club to be in a final of Europe? I said this many times. Maybe if we'd said this to you journalists early at the start of the season, I think a lot of you would have said probably not. But we came close last year. We really did. We came close, and this year we've gone a step further. So it's a big achievement to get to a European final. There's lots of teams been in, whether it be the Conference League or the Europa League. It's not easy to go through the season playing in the Premier League and also having to be competitive in this competition. And we have been. So I think it's a great achievement for all the players to be sitting here or being here today. The next part is to see if we can go on and win it now.
Hi, David. Jordan from The Sun. Have you managed to get your head round yet what this could mean for you as a West Ham manager? I mean, you're very well thought of at the likes of Preston and Everton, where you do so well. But to win this, you would be a bona fide West Ham legend. Have you managed to kind of get your head around that in the build-up to this game and what it could mean for you to the West Ham fans?
I don't think of myself any different than anybody else or anyone else in this room. I'm really fortunate and privileged and thankful to be given an opportunity to be a football manager and get the opportunity to go this far in my career and get an opportunity to be in a stage like this, I think is really special. So I don't really ever think of myself in any way as being a legend or any words used and any words like that. I just like being known as a football manager and one who's serious about his job, tries to do the best he possibly can, and week in, week out, try to prepare my teams to be competitive. So I think I'd like to be known as much for that as I would be for the word legend, really.
Hi, David.
Hi there.
Daniel Romano from Blue Sports in Switzerland. Sorry for my English. Could you explain us what is, for you, the biggest difference between your team in Premier League that won 11 games in an entire season and your team that won 11 games in 12 games in this competition, please? Thank you.
I tell you, the level of the Premier League is huge. I think the level of Italian football is very, very good at the moment. Certainly the top of the league, the Italian teams have done so well in Europe, all in European finals. But the Premier League is a level of which is so difficult, and to play the competition and then to play the Premier League games has also been hard. And I have to say, this competition has been so good for us. It's kept our head above water. We felt good about it. We've maybe not always won the next Premier League game, but the squad, the players, everybody who have played in this competition has really enjoyed it, and I think the results and the performances speak for itself.
Last couple now, please.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carrie Brown, BeIN Sport. David, the best of luck to you. You're part of UEFA's technical observers for the international tournaments. Can you talk us through what it was like then to get off the coach and come into the tunnel where it's your dressing room, out to the pitch where it's the West Ham crest, and that you will be observed, but this is your moment, your team's moment at a European final? What was that like, drinking that in?
Slightly surreal. I'm very fortunate UEFA over the years have helped me when I wasn't in work and I watched a lot of football. all the big games, etc., and was part of their technical committee. But I think today to turn up as a manager and have your own dressing room, as you rightly said, and know that your team's performing here is a big thrill for me. So I really hope I can take it to the next level, which is winning. But I'm up against a really good opponent, and I know that it will be a tough game. So yeah, it's good though. It's great, and I hope that there's more to come.
Last question.
Hi, David. Shane from the Athletic.
How you doing?
Two-part question. Will your father be here tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
And if so, has he been sending you any motivational messages before the game?
Yeah, I think they'll be in the pub. But no, look, you can imagine that I've got a huge following of family. You know, to be in this position, as I said before, is not only good for me, but it's always something what your family can celebrate as well, and I hope that they can. All of you who've got children and see your kids go on to be successful or do something which you can be proud of, I think for any father would be important. And my dad's here tomorrow, so hopefully I can give him something which he'll remember.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
That's it for this first press conference. The second one with Fiorentina will be at 7:15, so in less than 1 hour. We'll start with Vincenzo